Hi guys, Richkingretro here. I'm here with my good mate, Good Kieran. He's real.
I am. I'm not a figment of Richard's imagination. I might be. I don't know.
You may have seen him before, probably what, 2 Easter Sundays ago when we went car booting it.
Yeah.
You picked up like some random vinyl.
That's my bandmate. Yeah.
What's the vinyl called?
It was Dennis Waterman, the Minder theme. It's because he used to like watching Minder, so it was like a joke present.
So anyway, Good Kieran hopefully he's going to be appearing quite a lot on the channel. Simply because he's a good mate. He's just getting into retro gaming it. So I guess you want to give us,
Yeah. Well,
tell us about yourself a bit, mate.
I've always sort of played computer games mainly when I was younger, and when I became sort of older, sort of got more into music and writing and playing it and collecting vinyl, which I've done for about 15 years. But I've got so much that I have no space. It's so expensive now.
How many you got, mate?
Oh, it's pushing 1,000.
1,000 vinyls.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and that's not even counting CDs and cassettes. But I just thought, you know what?
It's getting really expensive,
yeah,
isn't it? Literally.
I haven't played any video games in a while. Let's revisit some of them. So I got some stuff out of the loft, and then Rich sold me a few bits and gave me a few things, and then before you know it,
it's gone retro crazy.
The collector's
crazy.
The collector's bug doesn't stop. So.
Hoarding with the vinyls, then gone on to video games.
So the past 3 or 4 months have been mainly buying video games, and
you've come in at the worst time, Good Kid.
It is definitely
literally expensive. Like, we're always talking about how expensive it is. You know, games you could get at Game Station like 10 years ago.
Couldn't give them
£2.
away.
You know, bog off, buy one get one free.
Yeah.
And now they're like 30, 40 quid.
Yeah.
So what you picked up like recently?
I've got Mario Bros Deluxe on the Game Boy Color with a box and a manual. I got that imported from Germany, but that was about 23 quid. I've got a few other Game Boy things like.
You got Final Fantasy game I got for the PSP, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, I got it.
I've got it, but you've got cards and stuff.
Yeah, I got that just for Christmas in November. It's Final Fantasy 4 with the sequel and the midquel with it.
You got it so cheap though.
It folds out and you get like a little. It's unopened. You get a little like cloth thing to clean the PSP, and you get 4 art cards, and I got that for about 12 quid in November, and when I showed Richard,
it was on Amazon,
and it was like 25, 30 quid. And it's like the prices seem to fluctuate, but mainly just like something you bought weeks ago is suddenly, boom, £10 more, and then
it is crazy. It's getting really. Really crazy with prices. Just like vinyls, years ago, you used to go in chowder shops, there'd be vinyl. Any vinyl would be like $1.99.
They didn't care what it was, be Beatles, Pink Floyd, you know.
$1.99, and now it's just like anything Beatles, 20 quid plus.
Yeah, you go into Oxfam and they have all the best stuff on the wall at the top, and it's like, you know, Elvis Presley, no, $49.99, and it's like, you're having a laugh. You know, these things sold in the millions, they're not rare at all.
Rare. It's a bit like when people put Final Fantasy 7 as a rare game.
Yeah, rare
like
game.
They say millions of copies.
Yeah.
When you hear someone say a rare game and also they did like a platinum version or like a player's choice version and a value series, that's not rare to me.
Yeah, and the fact that you can buy it on the PS or PlayStation Network on your PS3, PS4, or PSP, I suppose, means that it's not like it's a difficult to find game like Mario RPG was.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I mean, there's a difference between being rare and being sought after, I suppose. And if a game is sold in the millions, like Mario Bros 3 or something, but loads of people are after it, then that'll put the price up. Whereas you could have a really rare obscure game that no one wants to touch, and then it could be worth nothing. Then you get a balance in between the two, and then you're like, that's when you're onto a winner, I think.
So Good Kieran came out on Christmas Day, and we played video games all day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We attempted to make Christmas dinner. It wasn't that bad, was it? I was surprised how good it turned out to be, mate.
Attempted, I think we succeeded.
Yeah, it was the first Christmas dinner ever.
Yeah.
The Yorkshire puddings were a bit crazy. I thought they were going to be already cooked. But we had to I don't know, they were pastries and we had to...
and then they puffed up and it's like, what?
That's probably what normal Yorkshire puddings are supposed to be, not like microwave jobbies where you put in the microwave, 30 seconds, they're done or something.
And the funniest thing was they weren't Aunt Bessie's, they were like cousin someone.
Oh, it was
Downton Abbey.
auntie somebody from Downton Abbey. I'm like... Even though they say Aunt Bessie's on the side, there was some random matron woman from Downton Abbey.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of him. Well, funny. But yeah, we played Streets of Rage 1, 2 and 3, didn't we?
Yeah, we played them one after the other, and we did the 2-player co-op, and I'm a bit rusty on them, and
I didn't use to
2.
continue, he died.
1 and 2, I lost all my continues on the last bit before you fight Mr. X, and on number 3, we did it on easy mode, where you only get half the game, and we didn't realise.
I'm thinking, I'm sure this used to be longer than it is. It was literally like 4 or 5 stages,
I asked
wasn't
my
it?
brother about it when I got home, and he said, yeah, if you play it on hard mode, you get the full game, and you end up fighting like Mr. X's brain with some robots. And that's the final
I'm
boss.
thinking, I'm
but
sure
if you
this used to
don't
be
do it
longer.
in the time limit, the bombs in the city go off or something, and you get a bad ending. Road Rash 2 we dug out as well.
Oh, we did Road Rash 2 first, didn't we?
It's so much harder than you remember. Like,
well, I played it
ago.
since, and it was quite easy. It's because we were fighting each other. We would pick fights. You think, oh, we're racing against each other. Let's
You
race
gotta
against each
not
other.
waste your time getting the chain as fun as it is. You gotta just drive. And
Because you can't hardly see half of it.
every
as well.
time you run over like a cow or something, the noise is just like, whoa. It's so funny.
It is stupid, and your bike goes.
And Sonic 2, the split screen mode, where you get 4
Oh, it's
zones.
2-player. You destroyed me on that, didn't you?
Yeah, they mark you on 5 or 6 things like rings collected, time limit, enemies killed or something.
I haven't played the 2-player for years.
Yeah.
You and your brother didn't used to play it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was lucky because every time it came up to a decider where they give you one of the emerald collecting bonus rounds, I've sort of remembered somehow where all the rings and bombs were, and I was just like bam, 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 bam.
I was like, oh, every time. I was always 3 or 4 rings short. I'm like, for God's sake. Only because we kept on jumping. Boo, boo, boo. And then Kieran would stay still, and I would jump and go at the back because I thought you were going to jump.
And then when you hit the bombs, you fly backwards anyway, so you can sort of do it both ways.
Thinking, I deliberately go backwards. So yeah, mate. But yeah, it was good. But Streets Rage 1, I haven't played Streets Rage 1 probably for a good couple of years because I always played Streets Rage 2. But Streets Rage 1 was awesome, wasn't it? It was really good.
Yeah, the soundtrack still stands up today, and even though it's obviously, 25, 26 years old, the graphics for the time were brilliant. The gameplay's simple enough.
We had it on the Retron 5, just on like on a 42-inch TV, and like the bass and the music coming out of the TV was just awesome. I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, it's sort of
surprised how good it was.
Similar to what it'd be like playing it at the time for the first time.
Yeah, apart from when we only had to speak on one side of the TV, but I had a TV that only had one speaker on the side, one speaker on the front.
No bass.
And every time Arsene Wenger used to talk on like Sky Sports or something, and the speaker.
I used to have a TV in the front room that I could plug into when I was a kid, and when my mum or nan wanted to watch like Coronation Street or something, I had to plug it into a black and white TV next to it with the sound down. So most of my Mega Drive playing when I was a child was in a black and white TV with no sound on, so playing it on a big TV with colour for a start and bass is kind of pretty phenomenal.
It's like picking up the fatties. It's like Streets Rage 1. Like, I'm so used to Streets Rage 2, we could actually pick them up and like,
They just squash you.
yeah, and the goddamn Blaze lookalikes. I thought they were bloody annoying. There's women who jump around. Hey, hey.
Yeah, and then they stop, and then you got to like turn around, and then,
and then
they
you
get
go-
up, and it's a bit sort of like that sort of the worst bit of the game for me because
Adam was brilliant though. Adam was a really good character, but he was never in the other 2. So
Yeah, he was captured in 2, and you had to save him, and then in 3 they mention him, but you don't play as him.
the Streets Rage 2 was brilliant. That's definitely my favourite one. And Skate, I'm always skating. He's awesome. I love Skate. He's so good.
3, I
And
think.
Axel, and then in 3, after playing 1, 2, and 3, we went to 3. The music was garbage, mate.
Oh.
The guy must have been on acid.
It was
well
like
weird.
it wasn't even like.
Is it the same guy? Is it the same guy?
I read up on it afterwards, and it was the same composer as the first 2 games, but apparently he was experimenting with different musical styles and was just putting random programs into the synthesizer so that it wasn't necessarily in time, because I thought my head was going funny because it was like boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, and nothing was in time, like, in tune, and it was like, this is really great.
He's sort of a musician as well, but yeah, it was messed up, mate.
Yeah, the thing about
Absolutely
3,
messed
the
up.
music wasn't good. It's really hard, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it takes away a bit of the fun. And it was a case of the third time just lost so much of its charm, and I don't know whether they should have.
Skate was a completely different character. He was rubbish. He's gone from being an awesome character that I loved in Streets Rage 2 to absolute garbage. Oh, why is he doing that? I like the well good. And Axel was like bare knuckle. I thought it was supposed to be round knuckle or round knuckle, but he's in the phone was like bare knuckle.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's Streets of Rage 3. Streets of Rage 3.
Yeah, a pointless fact is I think bare knuckle was the Japanese and American title.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
You
but
can
it's
see
like,
arcade machines in the second one on the first level when they're playing bare knuckle, so they're playing themselves.
yeah, it's just weird. I was thinking, why didn't they change that for the European release, like the
Yeah.
power release?
Streets of
bare
Rage.
knuckle. I remember just doing
Streets
that.
of Rage 2. It's not as catchy, is it?
Yeah, bare knuckle. But yeah, it was really good. What else? Did we play Sketching? Did I show
No, you played that afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, I love Sketching. That was awesome.
We did play one of my favourites from the first game I played that wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog. Alien Storm, which I had on Mega Games.
Alien Storm, that was fucking hard. We got destroyed on that, mate, didn't we? My God.
A classic, and I love the bits when it forces you to run and you just got to hold down shoot. And I love the bit when it goes to first person mode and you're in the Sega shop blowing the TVs. But the fact that like you
no energy.
You need energy, which is separate to life, to do your attacks. And when you run out, the guy with a gun doesn't fire it; he whacks you with it. The robot's just useless. And it's like to get the energy, you have to do the first person bits and get the bars. And shoot them and they go whoop.
It did take quite a lot of fun.
And you can accidentally get the other player's energy bar if they don't get it, and then one of you ends up with no energy. It's quite tactical.
The other one with full energy. You're like, oh, for God's sake.
Like I said to you, and that's from the late '80s originally. And it's held up well, and it's quite. Fun
I enjoyed
game.
Alien Storm, yeah. But yeah, it was forgotten. We probably had to play it a bit longer to actually get used to it, rinse and repeat, and would have got further in that.
Yeah.
But that was quite funny. So we're both going to Play Expo in Blackpool, so we can't wait. I linked Good Kieran the video of me filming around the event last year, and you were surprised how big it was. And when I told you that all the arcade machines are free to play, you was like, "How much 50p's do I need?"
Yeah, I was thinking it would be like
it's free.
You know, you pay your entry, and then a bit like certain theme parks where you pay to get in, and then I know like Alton Towers, I think.
Everything you have to pay for.
Yeah.
Standing in the queue, you
I
have
think
to pay
it's
for.
like that, and Maureen, I'd be have to take in like a rucksack where the 50p's going, oh, the Donkey Kong, oh, the Mario Bros. But apparently you queue up, and as long as you can wait, it's free.
Yeah.
And obviously some of the machines are so old, they're liable to break down, or
they're getting more reliable, I guess. I guess like they've been fixed or reconditioned and serviced so much.
What are you looking forward to playing? Is there anything you haven't played that were there previous years that you hope can come back so you get a chance?
I just always like to play the same games, like mainly the pinball machines. I just love just playing the pinball machines, and I just the Lord of the Rings one's always awesome. I think there's a Hook one which I really enjoy. The Hook the film, yeah. There's always like loads of pinball machines, but mainly it's just meeting up with the YouTube guys. You guys have obviously too many beers, so we can't wait. Can't wait, and it's just going to be, we've obviously Good Kieran there. Sometimes I sit at the bar for like hours and hours, and we'll go there, I guess would be more likely to go around, play some games. Actually, I guess, get involved in more of the event, but I'm still going to have a few beers.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
And hopefully the sellers area is going to be bigger, better, cheaper.
Open to offers if you sort of
buy there are some good deals to be had, obviously. But like I said, it's just getting so expensive. Even when mates are like, just message me on Facebook, I got this. I'm like, oh, cool. Shaking your hands. Like, a year ago, it'd be like 30 quid. He's like, well, I've been on eBay. And it's like, but again, I'm like, no. So one of my like old, schoolmates, he's got like a Mega Drive, Master System. I've already got the games, but I thought it'd be worth, I go, £50, probably my max. He's like, oh, you can have it for 180 quid. I'm like, fuck, 180 quid? You're going to laugh. It's just no point. But I've already got the game, so I'm not even desperate to have it. But someone, you just starting out now, just want to relive your childhood and that.
Yeah.
But it's just it's ridiculous. It's this like, the Gumtree, Facebook.
There's
everything.
Couple of places in Plymouth that I think are actually, I think it's monopolised, and I think they're actually the same business. I'm not sure. Or if not, they're sort
the
of
market and the nerds. They're really good people. Actually,
I got the Final Fantasy VIII strategy guide there before Christmas. It had £6 on it, and they did it for a £5.
Yeah,
and it's not in the best condition, but all the pages are there, and it's like, so some of that stuff is really well priced, and then other stuff like Final Fantasy Anthology for 35 quid, and Tekken 3 for a tenner, and it's like.
They're probably that price now, mate. It's probably that price. It's honestly ridiculous. It is probably that price. I guess some of the ultra rare stuff is really expensive in there, but they're really good ladies. They are actually. That's where they bought the arcade stick from, the Nintendo arcade stick, and that was 12 quid, which I was really chuffed with that because they seem to be on eBay for 30 quid or something stupid.
I did get Final Fantasy 4 on the DS there with the book, and that was only 8 quid. And I mean, I've not seen that online for less than 20.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff's really like a bargain, and then other stuff's like really expensive. And they've got loads of cool stuff that's not for sale, which is slowly
sell me that stuff.
It's slowly
Rachel,
getting more and more like pale because of the sunlight, because it's on like big window and it's on the top, and it's like
that's a nerds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of like boxed Atari Jaguars and boxed
N64 limited edition, and
it's like. Well, I don't know what it's there for. They should, if they want to decorate their shop, get some posters.
It's just there for show. They're really good lads and that, or good ladies and that. But I'm just like, I want to buy some of that stuff. There's some of the rare stuff that I actually need for my collection. I'm like, I've got the money. I don't mind paying like 10% less than eBay, but I guess if I had a shop, you sort of have to fill it up with little collectibles and stuff there.
Yeah.
And that. But I guess more is up there, sort of like the sun damage and stuff, and I guess the lights of the shops and stuff like that, I guess. When you think they've got the lights on non-stop for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, whatever, isn't it? And then probably the sun from the window as well. But there's a couple of other shops that when we go up, next time we get paid on Saturday, hopefully they're still there. One of them I know is definitely there. The other one, he was sort of selling his shop on Gumtree for something stupid like 20 grand. I'm like, great, and went in there and wasn't worth 6 or 7 grand's worth of stuff. But I had some good stuff in there, so hopefully better get some good stuff.
It's harder and harder to get anything, like, not just games, but anything collectible. Like Richard was saying, vinyl, you used to be able to get an Oxfam for like £1.50p. You used to be able to get computer games for £1.50p, and now it's like... I think the last time I went to the Oxfam in Liscard, there was This Is Football 2002 on the PlayStation 2 for like £2. Turok something or other on the Xbox for like a £5. And there might have been a Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training on the DS for like $3.99, and it's like even people are just giving away the junk games, or they are eBaying or keeping for themselves the good games, or they're, I don't know, I can't really, maybe people are not necessarily giving them to charity anymore and they are just selling them because they're worth so much money.
After the recession, it was honestly the best thing happened after the recession. Maybe not for some of you guys, but for me, when I was living at home and car boots were crazy, people selling locally, or obviously on Facebook groups, on eBay, and everything was just clearing up the loss, people downsizing, moving, and also, I guess that was like, 5-6 years ago, the same age, so I would have been about, 25, 26, people have come back from uni, they're going, moving away, moving abroad, and there was so much stuff around. But now there's more collectors, even car boots, like I said in the previous video, I'll take good care with me. He'll be picking up all the sealed games for fun. I'm like, no, I'm crying in the car when I picked up like a little PS2 and loads of football games. He'll be there with like fucking Zelda, Wind Waker, Sealed and stuff, won't you, mate?
Don't get distracted by the plastic axes.
Yeah!
It's right there, I can see it.
Yeah. Oh, in one video, literally, I was picked up a plastic axe thinking, started messing around with it, and there was a sealed goddamn Super Mario Brothers Wii. Because the red copy, Super Mario Brothers Wii, like sealed on the floor. I'm like, shit! And some I think some fat beast guy came along and got it. How much is that? And the guy, it's $1.50. I'm literally crying, thinking, great. And then 10 minutes later, I think I paid like £2 for an unsealed one, like literally crying. But I was happy to get it. But I was like, could have got a sealed one for like £1.50.
Yeah.
But yeah, car boots are getting smaller and smaller, and I guess there's only so much stuff people can sort of sell. And now retros, like, was it 2016? When I think retro, I always think, a couple of generations ago, not genes, a couple of generations ago, and also maybe 10 years or more, It's going to be nearly 10 years since the PS3 came out.
Well, the Wii came out in 2006, I think, so it seems to me really weird that these things that you remember coming out not so long ago are actually 10 years or more, and you think, oh god, yeah, the PS2,
it's like
that's
20 years since the
ago.
PS1, mate, yeah. Even GameCube, some people just arguing about the GameCube's not retro, but what's that? 2001, 2002?
Yeah, it depends on your definition. Like, if you think retro, maybe the first thing.
That's retro, I think. That even the PS2, I would say, is retro now.
Some people might go, retro must be 8-bit 2D graphics or NES style, whatever. But yeah, maybe
it's retro to us though, isn't it? Like,
well, yeah, because somebody now that would be like 16 who's got an Xbox One or something. Who might
in probably 15 years' time, that'll be retro to them.
Yeah,
See, it's in a year's time, it's like literally nearly 10 years since Call of Duty 4 came out on the PS3. Where's the time gone, people? We're getting well old. Yeah, so you obviously you've gone from vinyls because it's too expensive to video games that's like really expensive.
We were thinking earlier before we started filming, like, what's the next step? Is it going to be stamps or like
everything's just gone up, mate. Even probably stamps, mate. Board games at the moment. I've been collecting board games.
Anything collectible, no matter what field it's in, seems to be...
Turtles, Lego. Lego's gone crazy the last year.
Star Wars figures. It helps, obviously, there's a new Star Wars film out, so it's back in public eye.
Everyone's buying Star Wars figures and fine. Anything like, I think Sainsbury's, they had like a figure and like a I don't know, one of those random books for $4.99, and people went and bought tons of them. And selling on because the only place to get it was Sainsbury's.
Yeah, they only did a certain amount. And even like Marvel Comics and that, I mean, I'd hate to start collecting them now because they just go for, like, basically, if it's popular now, everyone wants a piece of it, and it's like it's supply and demand. So if people are having to pay prices, they'll carry on going up. I think they'll reach a point.
It's because everyone's disillusioned with just the way things are gone. I've got a PS4, and I play a bit of Destiny. Played Star Wars Battlefront, but it's the same games that I've played probably from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're just not enjoyable, and there's loads of people obviously want to get back to proper gameplay and enjoying it.
Yeah.
But also collecting and spending the money, and it's not just about, I guess, collecting games. I guess it's more like the living style, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, and all those old games, well, especially like, you know, not first generation, but like the NES and the Master System stuff. I mean, they were so limited with the music and the graphics that the gameplay was the main important feature. And if you had a good game that played well, it didn't matter that, you know, like Alex Kidd Miracle World, you know, looks like a 2-year-old's cartoon.
But it was good,
It was
mate.
a good game. And then when you got to like honestly, like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and things like that, where the music's awesome and it, like for the time the graphics are amazing and it's like it's so colourful and so like great to play. It's like
Amen, mate.
that was probably the
Amen.
peak for games, was like that era of like the SNES and that.
I think the Dreamcast, mate. I love the Dreamcast. I'm getting back into playing the Dreamcast later. There's some
Yeah,
awesome games.
My brother
and that
had
was
one. Beyond Sonic Adventure, he didn't really get many games for it, but it's probably, in hindsight, in 50 years' time, people look back on it and say it was sort of like, it sort of slipped through the net and it probably
Ahead
was
of
just
its
ahead of its time, yeah.
Definitely
and just
ahead of its time.
didn't appeal at the time. If it would have had a DVD player, who knows? But obviously, we'll never know because it didn't have one.
Yeah, the PS2 just destroyed everything. It just absolutely destroyed everything for that time, I think. Destroyed the GameCube, the Dreamcast.
But I think the GameCube's actually an underrated console because it's got loads of fun games and it's got compilations of like some older games on it as well. And the fact that you could link your Game Boy Advance to it and play that on there.
I think literally the Game Boy, the handheld, saved Nintendo over the last 20 years or so.
Yeah, I did find it odd that when the DS came out, they dropped the Game Boy name because it was such a strong, big selling name that.
Was it Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP?
Yeah, and then after the Game Boy Advance SP,
Pocket.
it was just DS, and it's like, why don't you just call it Game Boy DS? Like,
I've never thought about that at all, mate.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I just thought it was odd that they dropped the name. Like, if you've got a big selling name that everyone knows, keep it. I do think it's odd that the 3DS has sold about a fifth of the amount of copies that the DS sold.
3D's pointless, mate. I just can't.
I think it was a step too far they didn't need to do. Because when I'm playing the DS now, those games still look impressive for a handheld console. I mean, they're better than N64 graphics. The 3DS isn't that much better. I mean, how good
3D hasn't taken off, has it? Like,
no,
I've
3D
got a
TV's
3D TV.
bombed.
Every time
Nobody
we go
goes
to
to
cinema,
3D at cinema. It's expensive. Like, we've only got two eyes. It's like quadraphonic music in the 70s never took off because we can't hear four stereos. We can hear like left and right. We've only got two ears.
That's so true.
It's simple, isn't it?
It's so true. I literally absolutely hate 3D at the cinema. We've got some visitors. How you doing? Yeah, so this is Good Key. He's joined the clan. He's joined the Richkingretro Castle. I'm dressing him up as a jester soon. So we're about to go get burger and chips and play some board games. But yeah, cheers guys. Please comment below.
Yep, I'll see you again hopefully.
Cool. Cheers people.
Yep, geek power.
Whoop whoop. Geek power indeed.